this video lecture we will discuss about the metabolism of ketone body. But before discussing the metabolism of ketone body, we will learn about the ketone body. So what the ketone body is? Actually, the ketone body actually refer to the three biosynthetically related compounds that are actually the acetone, acetoacetate and beta-hydroxybutyrate. So now these three compounds are considered as the ketone bodies. Now the question is that why the ketone body is called so? So because these compound at will possess this groups. Now this group it is considered as the ketone group. Now these compound it will possess the ketone group, so that's why they are called as ketone body. But however, this al beta hydroxybutyrate it will show exception because this alpha beta hydroxybutyrate it does not have a ketone group, but still it is considered as the ketone body. So why? Because of its metabolic origin and its function, it is considered, it is placed under the category of the ketone bodies. Now what are the importance of these ketone bodies? Now these ketone bodies are actually water soluble compounds. Now these water soluble compounds that are actually used by our bodies for the energy purpose. So that's why the ketone body are very important for us. So it will give us energy. Now again, acetone it will show exception because this acetone it cannot be oxidized in our body and cannot give us energy. So after the formation of this acetone, it is readily exhaled from our body through lungs. So now look at see here how the metabolism of the ketone body occurs. So this is actually a short intro about the ketone bodies. Now the first point in the ketone body metabolism, that is about the ketone body synthesis. Now the synthesis of this overall ketone bodies, that is actually the acetone, acetoacetate and beta hydroxybutyrate. So the synthesis of these three compounds, that is mainly called as ketogenesis, or you can simply say that the formation of the ketone body it is called as ketogenesis. Now the process of this ketogenesis is it will occur mainly in our body, that is the one organ that is responsible for the synthesis of the ketone body, that is actually the livers. So the enzyme that is responsible for the synthesis of the ketone body it is present in the mitochondria of the livers. So there is no synthesis occur of the ketone body somewhere else in our body except to the livers. Now how this ketone body are synthesized? So the main initial substance for the synthesis of the ketone body is actually the acetyl coenzyme A. Now this acetyl coenzyme A that is mainly produced in the mitochondria. Now there are various substances from which this acetyl coenzyme A are synthesized. Now the first one that is actually this is acetyl coenzyme A. This is actually produced from the oxidation of the fatty acids. Now this acetyl coenzyme A it will produce also from the oxidation of the pyruvates. The best known is actually the link reactions. Now the third substance that is mainly responsible for the formation of the acetyl coenzyme A, that is actually the ketogenic amino acids that are leucine, lysine, tyrosine, phenylalanine. So these are the actually the ketogenic amino acids, the carbon skeleton of these amino acids that are actually converted into the acetyl coenzyme A. Now look at see here how the acetyl coenzyme A it is used for the formation of the ketone body. Now actually the process of ketogenesis or ketone body synthesis it is start from the condensation of the 2-acetyl coenzyme A. Look at see here, this is actually the structure of the acetyl coenzyme A. So this is actually the 1-acetyl coenzyme A molecule, while this is the actually the 2nd-acetyl coenzyme A. Now here the condensation of these 2-acetyl coenzyme A occurs. So at the result it will form a compound that is called as acetoacetyl coenzyme A. Now this is actually the overall structure of the acetoacetyl coenzyme A. Now what happens? So here mainly the coenzyme A group it is remove from here. So this is COA and one hydrogen, it will remove from the methyl group of the second acetyl coenzyme A. At the result, this coenzyme A group it will remove and we will get the acetoacetyl coenzyme A. But this reaction it is catalyzed by the enzyme that is called as thiolase enzyme. Now this thiolase enzyme it is actually also involved in the final step of the beta oxidation. That is actually this enzyme it will perform the action of the cleavage of this acetoacetyl coenzyme A and the beta oxidations. Now what happened to the acetoacetyl coenzyme A? This is actually the first step and the ketone body synthesis. Now let's look at see here the second step of the ketogenesis or ketone body synthesis is. Now actually the acetoacetyl coenzyme A it will convert or it will again combine with another molecule of acetyl coenzyme A. So when this acetoacetyl coenzyme A it will combine with the another molecule of the acetyl coenzyme A, it will convert it into the beta-hydroxybutyrate coenzyme A molecules. So here the enzyme that is mainly responsible for the conversion of the acetoacetyl coenzyme A into the beta-hydroxybutyrate coenzyme A. So this is actually the HMG-CoA synthase enzyme. So it is abbreviated as beta-hydroxybutyrate coenzyme A synthase enzyme. Now this HMG coenzyme A synthase it is actually a rate limiting enzyme that mainly regulates the process of the ketone body synthesis. Now this HMG coenzyme A this is actually formed from the acetoacetyl coenzyme A. When this acetoacetyl coenzyme A it will combine with the acetyl coenzyme A, it will form this HMG-CoA. Now another enzyme it will act on this HMG coenzyme A, that is actually the HMG-CoA lyase enzyme. Now this enzyme it will actually act on this HMG-CoA and will remove one acetyl coenzyme A. So at the result one acetyl coenzyme A it will remove here. So after the action of the HMG coenzyme A, it will break this HMG CoA into two products. The first one that is acetyl coenzyme A, while the second product that is mainly formed from the action of the HMG CoA lyase, that is actually the acetoacetate. So actually this acetoacetyl coenzyme A it will also produce in our body directly from the beta oxidation of the fatty acid, while the acetoacetate it will form in our body from the oxidation of the amino acids. The reduction of this acetoacetate occur and will form the ketone body, that is actually the beta hydroxybutyrate. Now what happened to this acetoacetate? Actually the reduction of this acetoacetate occurs. So the enzyme that is responsible for the reduction of this acetoacetate, that is actually the beta hydroxybutyrate dehydrogenase enzyme. So it will remove the hydrogen from this coenzyme A and will convert this coenzyme A into the oxidized form, that is NAD+. So here one hydrogen it will remove, and this hydrogen it is simply added to this acetoacetate. At the result it will form the beta hydroxybutyrate, the main ketone bodies. So actually a small fraction of this acetoacetate it may be converted into the acetone by the spontaneous decarboxylation reaction. Simply one carbon dioxide molecule that are spontaneously removed from the acetoacetate and it will form the acetone. These are actually the ketone body. So by this way the main ketone body they are synthesized, that is beta hydroxybutyrate and acetone. Now the next point in the ketone body metabolism, that is about the utilization of the ketone body, are simply the oxidation of the ketone body. As we have studied in the ketogenesis or ketone body synthesis, that mainly the ketone body are actually synthesized mainly in the livers, but these ketone body that are actually transported to the other tissue where they are oxidized or utilized to produce energy. So actually the utilization of this ketone body, actually it is extra hepatic tissue, so mainly the tissue that is others than the liver. So these are actually that are utilized in the utilization of this ketone body, that are actually occur in the skeletal muscle, cardiac muscle and renal cortex. These are actually the example of the extra hepatic tissue where these ketone body are utilized. So actually the utilization of this ketone body, it is absent in the erythrocyte and the livers. So actually why the utilization of this ketone body, it is absent in the erythrocytes? Because the erythrocyte, as we know, that the mature RBC does not possess the mitochondria. So mitochondria are mainly responsible for the utilization of the ketone body. So due to the absence of mitochondria, the ketone body that are not utilized in the erythrocytes. Now again the ketone body are actually synthesized in the liver. So but the utilization of the ketone body, it does not occur in the livers. So the question is that why the synthesis of the ketone body occur in the liver but the utilization does not occur in the livers? So mainly the enzyme, that is thioporase enzyme, this is actually the enzyme mainly responsible in the oxidation of the ketone body. So this enzyme actually absent in the liver, so that's why the utilization of the ketone body does not occur in the liver. Now look at see here how these ketone body are oxidized, or utilization of this ketone body occurs. So actually this is the main ketone body, that is beta hydroxybutyrate, that is mainly the ketone body. When the reduction of this beta hydroxybutyrate occurs, it will convert it into the acetoacetate. So the enzyme, that is beta hydroxybutyrate dehydrogenase enzyme, this catalyze these reactions. Now this beta hydroxybutyrate dehydrogenase enzyme, it will remove hydrogen from the beta hydroxybutyrate. Now this hydrogen, after the removal of hydrogen from the beta hydroxybutyrate, it will take by the oxidized NAD and will convert it into the NADH. So what happened to the acetoacetate? Now another enzyme, that is thioporase enzyme. So this enzyme act on the succinyl coenzyme A and will remove the coenzyme from the succinyl coenzyme A. This coenzyme A, after the removal from the succinyl coenzyme A, this coenzyme A, it will actually combine with the acetoacetate and will convert this acetoacetate into the acetoacetyl coenzyme A. After the removal of this coenzyme A from the succinyl coenzyme A, it will convert it into the succinates. So this acetoacetyl coenzyme A, it is finally converted into the two product, that is the acetoacetyl coenzyme A and another two molecule of the acetyl coenzyme A, that is mainly formed from the acetoacetyl coenzyme A. Now this reaction, it is mainly catalyzed by the thiolase enzyme. So these reactions are actually the reversal of the synthesis of the ketone body. So here mainly the one coenzyme A group, it will add into molecule of the acetyl coenzyme A are formed. Now what happened to this acetyl coenzyme A? Now these acetyl coenzyme A are actually enter into the Krebs cycle or TCA cycle, where these are completely oxidized into the carbon dioxide and along with this ATP are utilized. So around about 12 or 10 ATP that are mainly produced in the TCA cycle. So by this way the ketone body that are utilized and will give us energy. So this is overall about the metabolism of ketone body. Now one of the important condition that is mainly related to the ketone body, that is actually the ketosis. Now what the ketosis is? Actually in normal individual there is a constant production of the ketone bodies by the livers. Now this ketone body, after the synthesis of the ketone body and the liver, that are actually transported into the extrahepatic tissue, where these are constantly utilized by the extrahepatic tissue. Now, in a condition where the synthesis of this ketone body that are exceed and their utilization that are actually less. Now, what happen in this condition? The concentration of the ketone body that are actually increase in the bloods. So this condition are actually called as ketonemia. While as this, the concentration of the ketone body that are actually increase in the blood. So actually these ketone body are actually excreted in the urine. So the excretion of the ketone body and the urine, this condition are mainly called as ketonuria. Now these two conditions, the overall factor of the ketonemia, that is actually the increased concentration of the ketone body and the blood, while the excretion of the ketone body and urine, this is called as ketonuria. Now the overall picture of ketonemia and ketouria, this egg condition we call as ketosis. Now what are the causes of ketosis? So mainly two important causes that will responsible for the ketosis, that is starvation, and the second one, that is diabetes mellitus. Now how the starvation that will contribute to the ketosis, or how this starvation it will increase the synthesis of the ketone body. As in the case of the starvation, actually the glucose, there is no intake of glucose in case of the starvation. So the fatty acid that are mainly stored in our body, that are actually the oxidation of these fatty acid occur. When the oxidation of these fatty acid occur, it will form the acetyl coenzyme A. Now this acetyl coenzyme A, it is cannot be fully handled by the citric acid cycle, because the citric acid cycle it is impaired due to the deficiency of oxaloacetate. As in case of the starvation, the oxaloacetate it will use in the synthesis of glucose, due to which the deficiency of oxaloacetate occur. At the result, the TCA cycle or citric acid cycle it is impaired, due to which the acetyl coenzyme A it is not completely oxidized or not utilized in the TCA cycle, due to which the concentration of the acetyl coenzyme A it is increased. Now increased concentration of the acetyl coenzyme A it will lead to the formation of the ketone body, due to which the concentration of the ketone body it will increase. Now how the diabetes mellitus it is responsible for the increased production of the ketone body. As we know that this diabetes mellitus it is mainly associated with the deficiency of the hormone that is called as insulin. Now the deficiency of insulin it will result in the impaired carbohydrate metabolism. It will cause two problems. So the first one, that is impaired carbohydrate metabolism, while the second one, that is it will increase the lipolysis. Now what happened due to these two problems, there is increased accumulation, or there is increased production of the acetyl coenzyme A, which is accumulated, and then this acetyl coenzyme A it will convert it into the ketone bodies. So these are actually the two important causes responsible for the ketosis. So this is overall about the ketone bodies. Thank you so much.